Chapter 11 Grammar, second grammar lesson. Comparisons of equality and inequality and superlative. Comparisons of equality, obviously when two things are equal, this book weighs as much as that book. Inequality, this is more expensive than that. And superlative, when you're comparing one thing to a group of things and you say this is the best restaurant in Chicago or this is the largest table in the cafeteria. So you have degrees of comparison. Let's start with comparisons of equality. First, we have the different ways of comparing things that are equal. Tan plus the adjective or adverb, in other words, a descriptive of a thing or a quality, plus como. In English, we would say as beautiful as, or as big as, or as little as. In Spanish, we say Carla es tan alta como Julia. Carla es tan alta como Julia. Notice we have tan, and then we also have the element that's being compared as beautiful or as tall as Julia. Marcos corre tan rápido como Paco. Notice it's what's being compared here is rápido. Marcos runs as fast as Paco. Tan rápido. Notice with qualities of adjectives and adverbs, we're talking about quality, a descriptive. So they're going to have to agree masculine, feminine, singular, plural. Alta in the first sentence is because they're talking about women who are tall. Tan alta como. Rápido is just how masculine singular, because it's talking about a quality, an adverb describing the running ability. Now in the next variation, tanto, you'll notice has a slash mark in tanta or tantas because there you're comparing things. So if you're comparing a noun, it has to be masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. Therefore, tanto, tanta, tantos, or tantas. You're measuring quantity, not quality. Notice the example. Mi hermana tiene tantas camisas como yo. My sister has as many shirts as I do. Tantas is used because camisas is a thing. It's not a quality. It's not an adjective. It's not beautiful or quick or small or tall. It's a thing. Therefore, we're using tanto. We're describing a thing. Tantas camisas, feminine plural, has to agree. The next sentence there, ella gana tanto dinero como su esposo. Dinero is being compared. She makes as much money as her husband. Since it's a thing that's being described, an amount, a quantity, tanto is going to be used and not tan. Dinero is masculine and singular, therefore it's tanto. So in the first two, we have a comparison of either a quality or a descriptive in the first one, which we would use tan, or a thing or quantity in the second one, which we would have to use tanto. Notice it's always going to be tan como, tanto como. Those are always going to be used. That's not going to be any other words. Not tan que, not tanto que, always going to be tan como. In the last one, we're describing a quantity of action. And so tanto como is going to come together. It's going to be the verb and then tanto como. Look at the example. Tú vas de compras tanto como tus amigos. You go shopping as much as your friends. Tanto como. And it will always be tanto como. Since it's a verb, it's not masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. Therefore, it's going to always be tanto como. Second example, Elsa lee tanto como yo. Elsa reads as much as I do. Tanto como is always going to be together because it's talking about the reading. That is what's being compared. Comparisons of inequality are a little bit easier, but again, there are certain rules that you use. You can use más que, and it can be an adjective or it can be a noun, more than. Notice, it's never going to be más como. Más will always go with que when we're talking about comparisons of inequality. Example, el algodón es más suave que la lana. Más suave que, softer than. Las mujeres compran más ropa que los hombres. More clothes than. So it doesn't matter if it's an adjective or if it is a noun. It's always going to be más que if you want to say more than. And in the next variation, menos que if it's going to be less than. Example, esta camisa es menos cara que, is less expensive than la otra. Example, llevo la ropa de cuero menos frecuentemente que llevo la ropa de lino. I wear leather clothes more frequently than I wear linen clothing. So it's always going to be más que or menos que when describing two things. Now, when we're talking about a verb, we put it together once again. Menos que, más que, nothing in between. Mi padre trabaja menos que mi madre. My father works less than my mother. Corro más que mis amigos. I run more than my friends. Instead of using más or menos in their constructions, the following adjective are new forms when being used in comparison. Más bueno is not said. We say mejor. Más malo is not said. We say peor. Más viejo is not said. We say mayor. Más joven is not said. We say menor. You will never use más or menos with mejor, peor, mayor, or menor. El precio es mejor aquí que en la otra tienda. Notice it's not el precio es más mejor because these new words replace the más or the menos in their quality of description. Mis hermanos son menores que yo. My brothers are younger than I am. Notice, however, that que is used in the comparison, the unequal comparison for both of these. Let's move on to the world of superlatives. Superlatives express an extreme comparison, the most or the least. In Spanish, superlatives are formed with the following construction. The definite article, el, la, los, or las, then the noun, and then más o menos, depending on what it is, plus the adjective. That's pretty formulaic. If you're an algebra student or a math student, then it's going to be a problem. Let's look at some superlative expressions may be followed by the preposition de, meaning of or in. It will never be followed by in. Let's look at examples. Esta falda, there's our noun and our article. Es, have to have a verb, la más bonita, okay? La más bonita. There is our comparisons or adjective. De la tienda. This falda, this skirt is the prettiest in the store. Notice la más bonita. We have now identified it. If we just said esta falda es más bonita, it would just be prettier. Esta falda es la más bonita, the prettiest. Second example, la chaqueta de piel es la mejor, the best. If we left out la, and what it would be la chaqueta de piel es mejor, is better. The best, la mejor. Now, why la in both of these sentences instead of lo? The answer is because esta falda is feminine singular. La chaqueta is feminine singular. So it has to agree. If it were plural, the first sentence would read, estas faldas son las más bonitas de la tienda. And the second one would be, las chaquetas de piel son las mejores. In other words, you would have to pluralize everything.